All right, guys, I think I'm live. Oh, yes, I'm live now. So, welcome to another week of what is happening in Edmonton's real estate market. I'm not wearing it looks like I'm wearing a pajama shirt, but I am not. I'm wearing a shirt that says "Raise Them Kind." Anyways, I want to talk to you guys about what's been happening in Edmonton's real estate market, and interestingly enough, the stats tell a certain story. Now, this is the second quarter, which is typically the busiest time for real estate in Edmonton. The first 3 months is considered the first quarter, so January, February, March, and that is considered like January is usually slower, and then it slowly builds up. This is just in general, not to do with the actual market stats. But it's been very, very busy for the first quarter. And so the second quarter will be interesting to see if it continues to get busier. It should be. And we will see, especially this week with the weather warming up. I think things are going to get even busier. I've seen even the higher price point homes starting to move quicker. So let's take a look at the current active listings and what does this mean for you? I'm going to go through the listings, the pendings and solds in the last week compared to last year. I'm also going to talk to you about neighborhoods in Edmonton. So if there's neighborhoods you want to know about, this is your chance to find out my take by just commenting, and I will let you know. So when we look at Edmonton's real estate stats and you look at the active listings, this is how many single family homes are for sale in the different areas I'm showcasing here. When you look at the numbers this week, it's very interesting because Edmonton's numbers didn't change a whole lot at all. 1851 to 1822 active single family listings. This means that we didn't have such a huge influx of sales or B, an influx of new listings coming on the market. Those two combined give you this. If we had a lot of sales and no listings come on the market, that number would have dropped. If you had a lot of new listings and no sales, that number would have increased. But you're seeing a fair amount of active new properties and sales because it hasn't changed an entire lot, and I'll guarantee you that there was listings that came on the market. It was not just flatlined like this. Now in Sherwood Park, interestingly enough, they had no changes at St. Albert, 175, didn't even change. Sherwood Park just went a little bit under, so in theory what it's saying is that you had less homes come on the market and more demand because it ate up some of the existing listings from last week. And then also in Spruce Grove, it went down, and in Beaumont, it went down. So same idea, not as many listings coming up and more demand. So that's why that number went down. Now, if you take a look at what actually went pending in the last week, you can see here that these are offers that have come on the market, like a house come on the market and a buyer's writing an offer. We had 216 pending sales in Edmonton in the last week versus the week before at 248. So it just means that this is how many people wrote offers on single family homes in Edmonton this last week. Keep in mind this last week was spring break here in Edmonton. We could have seen more, but I think we saw a little less. Maybe there was a lot of people going on vacation this last week. And so I am not surprised that the number is slightly down. It's nothing alarming. St. Albert and Sherwood Park all a little bit lower, and Spruce Grove identical for offers, and then Beaumont a little less. So if you think about the fact that we had spring break and holiday time for Easter long weekend, makes sense why we saw a little less offers just this last week. Now it's April, so I will be doing market stats for all of March. Why is it important for us to look at the month? When we look each week, we're looking at the micro view of what's happening each week in Edmonton and what that means. And I'm also talking in big chunks of places. In a minute here, I will talk about specific communities, and that's going to be more insightful for you if you live in a certain neighborhood, or you're looking to buy there, or you want to move into that area. But when you look at a whole scope of the month, it shows you a better perspective of what's happened in all of the month. Did it overall go up or down? Because if you look at week to week to week, sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down, but it doesn't show you the full scope. So this is good for little micro updates each week, but each month is important to see what was the overall change in Edmonton single family home market and what's actually happening. Pretty sure I have a spoiler alert. Pretty sure the market demand was actually quite high in March, and I believe it will continue. I'm guessing it was higher than February as well. That's my guess, just based on as we look through the different stats. Now, if you take a look at the solds, let's take a look at what's sold. There this is the last 7 days. So that would have been offers that were pending or unconditional offers, which by the way, I'm not seeing a ton of this year, is 207 from the last week before, 23 in St. Albert, so higher. St. Albert's a little less. Sherwood Park, Spruce Grove, a little bit more, and in Beaumont a little bit more. So again, these numbers week to week to me aren't showcasing anything crazy. 207, 244, we've kind of seen that. I don't believe we saw 300s yet. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see 300s come for the month of May. May is typically our busiest month of the year. April may get up there. So it depends on what's happening. There is supposed to be an interest rate announcement, I think. Now, if you're a mortgage broker and you're watching, maybe you should just comment. Can't remember when they're announcing it. But there is that change. Now, there's also people who are just naturally in April looking for houses, because if you were to move, if you were to buy a house today and you put an offer for 2 weeks, that puts you at April 16th conditional removal. 30 days is the middle of May, 60 days is the middle of June, right? So people are starting to think, maybe I should start looking because I might not find a house today because there's not much to look at. Maybe it takes you a few weeks to buy. You're looking at end of June, early July, and that allows you to move into your home prior to you going on vacation and still being able to have a vacation. Now, you may find that sellers are looking for a little longer possession because maybe they're also trying to accommodate vacation time or them finding a place. If you're looking at a home that is seller occupied, typically that homeowner may not have found a place yet. They're waiting to sell their home, and then they'll need a longer possession. So if you want to get a better deal on the home, or you want to win a multiple offer, if you give the date that the seller wants, you'll have a higher chance of getting your offer accepted. Now, you can't lowball the offer and give them the date they want because that's obviously not going to entice them as much. But if you take a look at all the different factors, it's really important to kind of see, what they're looking for and what you're looking for. If you have a rate hold, you have 120 days. So if you don't have a rate hold yet, public service announcement, go get one, because April, May, June, July, you have a rate hold till basically into summertime. And if the rate goes up, you're protected. If it goes down, you're still protected because you'll still get the lower rate. So you don't have to worry about that. And if you're worried about interest rates and what that looks like for payments, that's why when you get your pre-approval, make sure to ask what the payment amounts are for each different amount. If you have a rental amount that you're paying and you're used to paying $1,800 a month, find out what the mortgage payment is for you. It's not just using the calculator online, because your situation financially is different than someone else's situation. So the computer doesn't know these financial nuances, and they don't know how much down payment you're putting down unless you put it down. They don't know the formulas to break that down. So make sure to actually talk to a person. If you need a recommendation, I can definitely give that to you. So we're going to go and show you what is happening in different neighborhoods. If you are looking to get some input on neighborhoods that you're looking at or considering, please go ahead and comment in the comment section, and then I'll be able to put that up there. So I'm just going to show you Chappelle, because Chappelle is a neighborhood that somebody asked about, and I believe Paisley was the other area that someone was asking about. So I'll look at those two areas. In case you're watching and you're not from Edmonton, Chappelle and Paisley are both areas, that are in southwest Edmonton, relatively close to the Windermere area, but not exactly in Windermere. I'll show you a map here of Edmonton. You can see here that this is Edmonton. So Chappelle and Paisley are right down over here in this area. So here's Windermere area. As you drive down on Anthony Henday, you can take a couple different exits. You can also get off on Rabbit Hill Road and then go down Ellerslie down to 141st Street. And then you've got Paisley's right up here across from Hayes Ridge, and then Chappelle's down here. So Chappelle is also close to, you can have access out of 41st to get to Highway 2. So some people work at the Amazon building, which is right in this area as well. And it's not too far. So now that you have a context of where I'm looking, Chappelle, if you take a look at active single-family homes, there are 34 properties for sale in Chappelle, ranging from $429 to $1.449 million. That is a rather large span of properties. So you can see it's anything from an attached duplex all the way to these high-end triple car garage homes in the $1 million range. So these are 3,000 square feet, almost 4,000 square feet, lots of different. Now, these are for sale. Let me show you what has sold. So in the last 7 days, if we look, 5 properties sold in the last 7 days, which is a pretty high number for just one neighborhood, ranging between 357 to 536. Average days on market, with the exception, if you take this one off, you are looking at, honestly, within a week for under the 500 price point. You've got less than a week. This is 1 day on market, so I don't know if they had much of any conditions, if anything. No, they had no conditions. And that one sold for 400,000, listed at, 415. It was listed at 400,000, it was sold for 415. These are the homes with the garages in the back, they're attached. So there's no basement. This is the basement. This is the garage entrance. This is the front door. These are street side products. And this one sold for 415,000, which is crazy because I have helped some of our clients buy these on the market, like from new, and they did not pay that much money. They paid in the threes. Some of them were paying low threes, and then now I'm seeing them in the mid threes, and you're still seeing these sell for 415,000. So definitely not a bad deal. And let's just show you Paisley. And I need to find my comment section to see if there's any comments. What kind of house can you get between 500 to 625 in the Keswick area? Okay, just give me a minute and I will show you that. Let's take a look at Keswick real quick. So currently, we're going to look at Keswick single families sold in the last 7 days, just to give you context. One house sold. And it sold for 910,000, 2866 square feet, and the basement was unfinished. This looks like a new build. Yep. You can see all the weeds in the back. So landscaping hasn't been done on this, because see all the weeds here? So this is what you can get for the open to above for 910,000. But if you want to look at current active listings, and you said 500 to 625. So there's 59 active single family home properties. And as soon as we go into here, we have 11 properties that show up that are active, not pending, ranging from 524 to 625. So all the way in between. Let's look at the lowest price point one. So this looks kind of small. Is interesting. Yeah, this is a smaller layout. This actually looks like the street side urban towns, actually, urban villages. This one's maybe 1,400 square feet. So it's a single family detached, but it looks kind of like a duplex layout. There's the bonus room upstairs, bedrooms, double sink, so that's always good. Let me just take a look and see what this is. It is a detached. 539 gets you this. Now keep in mind, some of these are going to be 0 lot lines in Keswick as well. So these price points, usually in the low fives, are typically zeros. 1,600 square feet. 0 lot lines mean that your house is on one side of the property, on the property line. See, it is a 0. Because look how narrow that is. It's interesting that these lots don't even fit the houses on here. This one backs onto Keswick Gate, which is a main road. The school is right around here too. Yeah, the school's right here. And backs into this, so it's a little bit, it's like the main way to get into the area. And then let's see, at the top end of 624, brand new home, Excel builder. This one is another builder one. It was built in 2022, so I think somebody lives here. So another open to above. These are really popular home plans, but you do need to be aware that your utilities are going to be harder to deal with because it's just physics. You've got a huge space to heat or cool. Now this is interesting. This is 614. It's a laned home, but I wonder if the garage is attached detached. Some of the homes in Keswick actually have attached back garage homes. This one's a laned home. But it's interesting because the layout's not as common. This layout's not as common, where you've got this living area and then you come up to the kitchen. So very cool, funky, but also impractical for older folk who don't want to walk a ton of stairs. And also this might be hard for baby gates. So you want to consider that as well too. But it is a cool layout and it's staged really nicely. It looks like a show home. Yeah, it is a show home. It's a Jamin built house. This one is still under construction. So when you guys look at these, you have to understand sometimes you're looking at show home photos and they're not actually the home itself. So that's that one. Just gonna go back in here and take a look at Paisley. So anybody else ask questions? Nope. That's not the last one. If you have any more communities, let me know. Okay, let's take a look at Paisley. So Paisley active homes, 5 for sale. That's not very much at all. Are we looking at a price point? No, I took that all off. Yeah, there's only 5 in all of Paisley. Between $569 to $774.9. There's no duplexes for sale. Now, I know there's duplexes in Paisley, so those probably do sell quite quickly. These haven't been on the market too long. And let's take a look at the solds in the last 7 days. 3 houses sold between 420 to 438. So anything under 5, and they are moving very quickly. 3 days on market, 8 days on market, 17. So these are the duplex product. And you can see that one has a garage in the back. And the one that sold for higher, well, this one actually is front attached, but single. And you can see that that one sold for 420 just in end of March, so just a week ago. This one at 438, 1400, similar square footage, but I believe it has a double garage in the back. Yep. So these ones have the garages in the back. So, and is this basement finished? Yeah, fully finished. That's why it sold for the 438. 420s looks like what it sells for, not finished. So if you are looking for any more information, I don't think I have anybody else that's asking questions, because I looked on here. If you click this button, it's the same guy. So we don't have any other comments. Then I'm going to end for today, but make sure to tune in next week and let me know what neighborhoods you're interested in hearing all about. Thanks so much. Have a good day, guys.